Mr. Speaker, in terms of background, climate change remains a major threat to our nation's economic, social and environmental well-being. And the major challenge remains to be how we will overcome the current low levels of climate resilience and the adaptive capacity that continue to threaten the ability of our local communities and key sectors of the economy to withstand the climate shocks that we find ourselves in. The ministry is the government lead on all issues climate change and has, through the Climate Change Act of 2016, established the requisite governance structures to guide climate change action in the country. And I will be expounding on this a little later. Mr. Speaker, Kenya is signatory to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, the UNFCCC, and the Paris Agreement. And we have been very keen to adhere to this important multilateral process by tapping into the available opportunities for us to be able to influence the global climate change discourse through active engagement in various global fora that arise from this international obligation. Mr. Speaker, the Kenya Kwanza administration has been very intentional in profiling the country's climate action, and it is because the vagaries of the climate change debacle are borderless, and what Kenya does or does not do affects the global community and vice versa. And that's the reason why we have been very deliberate in our climate diplomacy, as a result of which, Mr. Speaker, Kenya is currently the chair of the African Group of Negotiators, which gives the country an opportunity to shape the discussions on climate change in the continent, and thereafter influencing the same discourse at the global level through the conferences of parties, which happen every year. His Excellency the President is also the coordinator of the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change, as well as after the hosting of the inaugural Africa Climate Summit last year in September, Kenya is currently the host of the Africa Climate Change Secretariat. And as I say, this really is intended to enhance our resource mobilization capacities, linking the country with technologies across the globe, as well as the climate financing challenges that we face, that we require the global networking.